everybody. I'm excited to be here with Cesar Arazian, who comes in from Canada. Actually is on the team of one of our best training customers. This guy sold 50 homes his first year in real estate. You got in the business, what, 14 months ago?
About 13, 14 months ago.
Okay, and you've already sold over 50 homes?
Roughly, just yesterday with 3 closings, 3 firm, it's 50 homes.
50. That's impressive, pal. So tell us what team you're on, where you come in from, give the spiel.
Absolutely. So #1 broker owner team in Canada. Shout out to Goran Todorovic, my mentor.
My boy.
Yeah, he's the #1 broker owner team in Canada, but also #8 RE/MAX team in the world. So we have a huge footprint in Canada in our region of Windsor, Essex. That's footsteps from Detroit, Michigan.
Yep.
And love being in the business, love your training, and obviously abiding by it and living it, breathing it.
Yep. Well, listen, when you started, okay, Goran had told me about you. And we traded, him and I, we always trade messages or texts. And he had told me about you. And then you sent me a message saying, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I'm on Goran's team, and I grew up in the same town as you, and you went to a private school, so we didn't really know each other as kids, although we have several mutual friends. And I was so impressed that you got into it, and he told me, okay, and this guy, Goran's one of the most, as you said, #1 broker owner in Canada. This guy's one of the most respected leaders in our business, particularly with RE/MAX. And he has sent us a ton of Crush It in Real Estate training customers, but he knew early you were going to be something special. And he told me, he said, this guy works his ass off. You were doing all the videos, you were watching all our training, getting in there, getting it done, and then working your sphere. So I want to hear it. I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Absolutely.
Give me the spiel.
Just with, Lamakia's Crush It in Real Estate, it's a lot of objection handling. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love the fact that we don't have to hit roadblocks.
Yes.
There's always an answer to any question that comes up.
Yes.
And there's always a way to jump over hurdles, so I love your training for that aspect. But you keep people motivated, learning how to prospect properly, learning how to turn over leads properly. Yep. The listing presentation is immaculate, so people understand that even if they have 20 other realtors in the back slot and you go in first, they're not seeing 19 other realtors.
That's right.
And that's the beauty about Lamakia training. So, kudos, you've built something amazing, and I love it.
Well, listen, I obviously sincerely appreciate you saying that, but you did the work.
No.
And you followed the program. And here's the thing, we have several thousand users in the system, sure, but I can think of 10 off the top of my head that watch the training and adhere to it at the level that you do. No coincidence that those 10 that I have in my head are all top performers. But the thing that I noticed interesting with you is 1 year in the business, 50 sales. I only know one other realtor that did that. And I have to be honest, folks, I didn't do that my first year in the business. I didn't. So someone here at our company did 56 last year, and it was like legendary. But especially with the market changing in late 22, because that person that did 56 didn't get to 56 in 22. But you've been over 50 in your first 12 months. So obviously you're crediting a lot to the training, and I appreciate that, but you did more than just the training. Sure. You got yourself the at-bats. You got yourself in front of people. Sure. Let's talk about that. You came from the car industry.
For sure. So 12 to 13 years in sales and automotive, and then 5 or 6 years in software before that. So sales, always be closing. But the key is customer service.
Yes.
Realtors don't answer their phones. It's their biggest flaw.
It's amazing to me.
And you talk about it all the time. Answer your damn phone.
I get calls every day from numbers I don't recognize. Do you know what I do?
Yeah.
This amazing thing. Hello?
Exactly. There's money on the other end of the line, and there's good customer service to be had. It's just pick up the phone, take care of your clients, take care of your sphere, and they'll take care of you in referrals.
100%. And you, coming from the car industry, I imagine you were in touch with a significant amount of your past customers there?
For sure. So there was about anywhere in around 300 to 400 customers that I sold a year. I was a top salesperson in that industry.
Yep.
So after 12 to 13 years, it's about 4,000 to 5,000 people that I brought into my sphere.
You put in your database?
Correct.
And are you hitting them with a monthly newsletter? What are you doing?
We're doing a CMA a day. We'll be hitting them with, obviously, a newsletter, talking about how the market's changing, and even though it could be difficult, we're here to guide you to the win.
Exactly. And see, what he's doing is he's always on offense. He's always on outreach mode, and that's what obviously I preach all the time. And you also do a lot on social media, and I want to point that out because those of you out there on Instagram, on Facebook, I see you doing a lot on Facebook. people need to be following this guy because he's making things happen. And you know, there's a lot that can be learned from you. And that's why I want to make sure that our viewers, you know, we're going to put this out publicly, but I especially want our training customers to see this so that they know, you know, how much you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Social media.
I love the shirt.
Yeah, we did it just for today.
Just do it.
You got to just do it, guys.
Right? Just do it. Don't make excuses.
No. Social media is a great platform, and I think people need to realize that people are watching.
Yes.
Like when Anthony Lamacchia is doing a 7 a.m. run, we're watching, we're listening, and we're talking about amongst ourselves as realtors, like that guy's motivated. I mean, he's at the pinnacle of the game, but he's still on his grind, and it's just motivational. It's motivational to watch that, and I hope to strive to get there one day.
You are there. You're doing it. I mean, the #1 mortgage broker in the country, Sean Panosian, was just in here. You and Sean knew each other growing up. And Sean was just talking about how he watched what he was doing on social media when he was in the car industry. Now he's in real estate and he's watching that. So, I mean, social media, it's essentially free unless you have a business page, which you should, and you should spend some money on it. But what you do on your personal pages, you just mentioned my runs. Those are my Crush It Mindset videos that I'm doing on Instagram. Right, those are free. I'm literally doing this half the time. Our camera guru over here, Brandon, gets on me because he wants to do more with the professional cameras. And we do some of that, but even Brandon will agree, as much as he wants me to always be in a good light, occasionally doing a quick live and just being real. People love that stuff.
Absolutely.
They love it. So that's important. I want to jump back to something you said about objections. And because you know I'm a massive believer in scripts and dialogues, objections and rebuttals. Part of knowing what to say when people hit you with objections is also expecting what they're going to bring up. And that's where the training comes in, because take price adjustment, for example. It's early 2023 that you're here. We're getting back to a market where price adjustments are going to be prevalent. They're going to be necessary. They won't be early this spring, but by next fall, there'll be more and more, just like there were this past fall. Part of how I got so good at price adjustments and part of how I wrote those up was always knowing what people were going to ask me. So I knew what they were going to ask before they did, and then I knew what I was going to answer before they even knew they were going to ask. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, for sure.
Give us maybe some specific examples
absolutely.
where it helped.
Even in our market in Canada, which kind of mirrors the North American market in US, and whatever happens here with rates, we got to catch up because inflation's key, right? So when you're talking about inflation, Canada has to keep up to the US dollar. Yes. So everything you're talking about in your videos, you guys are probably a month or two in advance and a quarter.
I've heard that. I've heard that with the whole United States, Canada thing.
Absolutely. So the objections are always like, well, the prices are going to come down. Well, when the prices come down, the rates go up. So who wins? Do you want to make the banks richer? Buy real estate today and sit on it. Don't be looking to get the better price point in the future. No one's timed the market correctly. No one's ever going to time the market correctly. If you want to get ahead, now's the best time to buy real estate.
You know, it's funny you say that. One thing I'll say last, I was talking to someone who's a billionaire a few months ago, and I said, how'd you get here? How'd you accumulate all this property? And you know what he said? I've been overpaying for 50 years.
See? Exactly.
So I complain when I overpay for things. When I heard him say that, I go, well, guess we all have to overpay for things
100%.
sometimes. Well,
100%.
Listen, congratulations on all you're doing.
You're
doing a terrific job.
Appreciate it.
You're making Goran proud. You're making me proud. And now you're headed into year 2, buddy.
Yeah.
Now you've set that bar high.
A little too high, but we got to keep it up.
That's what I want to hear.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.